everyone, welcome to the Take Care Man channel. My name is Todd. In this video we're going to be using the Fenomeno Shaves Royal Patchouli soap and the Elysian Soapworks Luna Aftershave. I'll be using a model of the twig razor from Leaf Shaving. This is the Thorn edition, so it's a little more aggressive than the twig. And in there I have the leaf blade that comes with it. All right, going to start out with a hot towel. So you may notice I have the Lather Landing Zone shirt on. And it says, down towards the bottom, it says residually slick. These are available on the Take Care Man website, takecareman.com. You can find the links below in the description. I'm going to be using the Omega Evo synthetic brush. Here is the Fenomeno soaps. I assume that's how you say it. It's F-E-N-O-M-E-N-O, Fenomeno.
Fenomeno.
And let me show you an up close of that label again. And again, this is a Russian made soap, and the notes on this one are bergamot, lemon, patchouli, sandalwood, and a smoky vetiver. You get the bergamot and lemon up top, but it's more predominantly a woody fragrance. When I smelled it, I smelled the patchouli and the sandalwood. I thought I detected cedarwood, but it's not listed in one of the notes, so I guess it was the vetiver, so the vetiver and sandalwood primarily. To me, the patchouli is not as overwhelming as you expect it to be with a name like Royal Patchouli. There's the pour. As you can see, it kind of goes up around the sides. This is a very firm soap. It says on the side that it is triple milled. This smells really good, and I thought it would be a good match with the Luna Splash. Hope everyone's doing well. Hot summer across the United States, and I know parts of Europe as well, and certainly ready for fall to be here, or autumn, and it's still quite a ways away. It's not yet August, so still some hot weeks ahead. And speaking of hot weeks, one of the things that happened to me over the last month is specifically, it was on July 4th, so Independence Day celebration here in the U.S. And that morning, my daughter and wife were actually gone. They were both out of town. And I was here with the 2 dogs and 2 cats. And I noticed the air conditioner was not cooling. And I went outside, and my condenser unit or compressor unit on the outside, the fan was not turning. All right, I think we got significant load there in the brush. We will get in here and start our face lather. So I knew from the past that that could just be a capacitor, which is a pretty, as you know, costs go for HVAC units, pretty low cost fix. But my unit is approaching 20 years old, and you know, every year I just pray that it's not going to go out on me or have any kind of major need for repair. And I'd start needing to do little repairs pretty much on a yearly basis. Some things would go wrong, so it was time. And obviously nobody was really working on the 4th of July, so it was going to be the next day before somebody could get out. And so guy came out, we talked about things, he priced a new unit for me, and then on the 6th they came out and installed it in one day. I fell for those guys up in the attic. It's so hot in there, so you know, me feeling hot in the house, and it got up to 89 degrees in the house. As you can see, the lather landing zone is already doing its job. We're collecting that excess lather there. I have about 5 days worth of growth here. The last shave I had was a little bit irritating. It was with the Parker injector style razor, the adjustable one, and I'm still not used to that injector razor, and not sure if I like it, honestly. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I'll probably give it another couple tries, but I just prefer so many other razors that I have. And interested in trying out this Leaf Thorn razor. Yeah, great scent on this Fenomeno shave soap. I didn't read anything or watch any videos about people like to use the Thorn or the Twig, both. Meaning if there's a particular angle that they like, or if it's just intuitive, or if you kind of ride the cap, or what you do. So I'm just kind of going with what feels intuitive to me. So far, really smooth. Shave experience here. Do get a lot of audio feedback. It's not as blade feely and aggressive feeling as I thought it would be. I like a little bit of blade feel. I was interested in this razor because I love my Blackland Vector so much, and it's how nimble it is, how easy it is to maneuver it, particularly like when you're shaving around the nose. And so I knew this head was relatively slim because it's a half D blade. And by thin, I mean, I guess the width across, this way, not so much the actual thickness of the top and bottom cap, but the fact that it's not as wide as a D head would be. Now I'm using the leaf blade. A pack of those came with the razor. I had put a Derby Premium in there. Earlier I have, I guess what they call a saloon pack of just the half blades from Derby. And that blade was actually not sitting in there completely flat. I mean, I could get it to be in there, but it was kind of bowed a little bit. And it did flatten out a bit when I tightened down the top cap on this razor. But it still left a little bit of a curve in there, and I didn't want to tempt fate, so I don't know if it was just that one blade. I'll have to try again, but I just reached real quickly for the leaf blade, which I actually had sitting up here. All right, good first pass. Nothing eventful there. No nicks that I can detect or anything like that. Pretty good for the first pass. The usual suspects down here on the neck. Again, lather landing zone is happening here. We'll get back in here and lather up for the second pass. Yeah, this is a really nice soap. This soap for me straddles the line between like a fougere, a barbershop, and a aromatherapeutic type of scent. When I opened it, my first thought was like natural woody. And I don't know if I mentioned the geranium earlier, and I'm not really sure what like isolated geranium would smell like, just geraniums, flowers. I'm not sure what that would smell like or what they smell like. You definitely get a touch of floral in here, but to me it's mostly the sandalwood patchouli vetiver base with just notes of the lemon and bergamot, popping out there. Yeah, very, very nice scent. Soap is performing well in terms of all the properties you want to see in a soap. Holding the razor for this with the grain pass felt pretty normal. In other words, not real different than anything else. But because the handle in here is a lot fatter, this against the grain, which is how this is, I suppose I could hold it lower, but I tend to just toe against the grain. I hold most of my razors at the end. It feels a lot different because it's wider, and I'm a little worried I might twist the cap open. And worried's not the right word, but I just kind of think, oh, I'm not sure how much of a grip I should, put on the end of this handle. It is grooved vertically, so that gives you a little bit there, and certainly makes it easier to turn. I almost wish it had been grooved horizontally. I know that doesn't make as much sense, or either grooved both ways, like a grid. It just made it easier, I think, to hold in this reverse position, if you will, against the grain. But this is my first use, so I'll take it for a couple more spins and decide whether or not it's a keeper. Too early to tell at this point. So we'll probably do a separate video about the den cleaning or den thinning I've been doing, getting rid of some of my software and hardware. Basically, there's some principles I'm using to do that, to help me make some decisions, because let's be honest, I have a lot of shave clutter, if you will. And while there are a lot of questions that have guided my decision making, the most useful one to me has been, would I rebuy this if I ran out of it? So for software, would I rebuy that particular soap or splash? Now granted, some soaps and splashes become unobtainium and you can't buy them, but you just have to say, well, if it was available, would I repurchase it? So I try not to let the unobtainium part affect me. I've gotten rid of some soaps that are unobtainium. If you're interested in any of the stuff I'm cleaning out, like if you would like to purchase some of it, it's all on the website, takecareman.com. Click on shop, you'll see that, or store rather. It's also where you can get this t-shirt and other t-shirts. But it's been kind of fun going through and cleaning out. A lot of the soaps that I'm selling, I like them, but they're not ones that I like enough that I would replace them when I ran out of that soap. Razor's not as efficient as I thought it would be, but I would like to try like say a half of an acid in there or a half of a feather and see how efficient it is. So I pulled the lather out of the brush. Apply it this way, helps me kind of feel too where I need to do the pickups. My friend Dave in Kentucky, I'll link his video below. He bought one of these shirts in orange, and he did his shave, managed to get no lather on it. On the other hand, like it's that's constant. I always get lather everywhere. So lately my third passes have been kind of across the grain on the jawline here. Because that's where I tend to feel the need to get some pickups, and you certainly can hear the feedback from that. But honestly, I can sit here no matter how aggressive the razor is and still get feedback even after several passes there. So sometimes I just have to tell myself, okay, that's good enough. And then of course down here in what I call the swirls, when I look at the hair, how the hair grows there on this portion of my neck, it's, as I know is true for many guys, swirling pattern. Okay, we're gonna call that good enough. We'll get rinsed off and come back for the post shave. A Lancaster Razor Works towel. Yeah, nice shave overall. It just, because it's my first time using it, it felt a little awkward to use, particularly on that against the grain pass, just because of the fat bottom there, and holding it that way. Pretty good though. We're gonna go right into the Luna Splash, and honestly, I can't remember whether there's alcohol in here. I think there is. Actually, yeah, so witch hazel is the first ingredient, which would lead you to believe that there's more witch hazel than alcohol, but then there's alcohol, aloe vera, vitamin E, fragrance, essential oils, etc. The scent notes on this are cardamom, clove, lavender, peppermint, patchouli, and Indonesian vetiver. I thought the patchouli and vetiver, since they're also in the soap, and also they just reminded me of each other and kind of would be a compliment. Now, this project is a collaboration between Elysian Soap, the Wet Shaving Store, Smiles for Miles, and Razor Ray. Razor Ray did the label. There's some great brushes that Smiles did on the Wet Shaving Store website. I'll link that below. And Smiles also did an EDT, or maybe an EDP, regardless of fragrance, a cologne for this. That's not the exact same notes, but is supposed to be complimentary, and I haven't smelled that. I did have my eye on it, possibly for next payday, but it's already sold out. I don't know if they'll probably restock it at some point, but when I smell this, I get a spicy, woody fragrance that I really like. This is really nice. I'm not going to remember the name of the fragrance. I'll pop it in here and picture of it. But there's a fragrance, YSL's, is it Pour Home, or I don't know what it is. I know that the notes on it, when I smelled it, I went by and got a sample spray at Macy's one day, and I was disappointed in the way it smelled, because I was hoping it would smell like this does. In other words, when I read the notes on it, I was hoping it would smell more like this. This is beautiful. I really like this. And I have to resist the temptation to pick up the soap, because I do have soaps that there's not matching splashes for, like this Royal Patchouli, that I feel like it's a really nice compliment to it. Let's get in here and get some. I actually put some on my wrist earlier to get a little bit of the dry down, and it does evolve just a little bit in that, those brighter type notes start to become a little bit more subtle, and the woody base comes in a bit more. Feels good on the face. Smells even better going on. Let me take the glasses off. Let's get back in here for a second dose of that stuff. Nice restrictor on this. It comes out very sparingly in a good way. That's great. Now this is what I would call a cooler weather scent, fall, winter. I know many of you don't really care what time of year it is, but to me, this would just be much more suited for fall and winter. But I shave a lot at night, so I can see myself using this a lot at night before going to bed. I haven't got any feedback yet from my wife on what she thinks about how this smells, but I will. I wanted to mention that we have crossed the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm really thankful to you all for that. Do another video specifically focused on that and announce some giveaways related to getting 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting Andy and I over at the Take Care Men Mental Health Podcast. The proceeds from the shirts, the den thinning sale that I'm doing on my website, all that goes into supporting the podcast, because there are expenses with having the website and running the podcast and all that kind of thing. If you're interested in the philosophy I'm currently using about how to thin out my den, check takecareman.com, click on blog. It's the only blog post there currently, and you can read sort of what I'm thinking about purchases and how to thin out the den and sort of get rid of some of the shave clutter. I don't know if you ever do this. Do you ever go back in for a third helping of the splash? This stuff is so good. I really like this. This is an excellent scent. I do hope that there is still splash and soap available. In this scent, I think in the Soul, they're sold out of the soap, but still have some splash. I think the Soul EDP, there may be one left as of the time of recording this, but they're out of the Luna EDP currently. Also just want to quickly mention, thanks to the Razor Company, Hendrix Classics and Company, and Crowne Crane for sponsoring the podcast, doing giveaways there. Just appreciate you tuning in and watching. We'll give the Thorn some more spins around the block, see how it does, see what we think about it. Love this Fenomeno Royal Patchouli soap, really nice. I've got another one from them that I've used already and I really like. I want to mention that these Fenomeno soaps are normally $23.99 and they're currently listed on Pasteur's for $14.99, so from $24 to $15, so a savings of $9. And for $15, these are triple milled hard soaps, going to last a long time. Great scent, and there's a variety of scents available there on Pasteur's website. You can still pick up this splash and the soap at the wet shaving store. Also happen to have one of their stickers clipped here to my whiteboard. Great scent and great shave. And again, thanks for watching, and as always, take care, man.